Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Papa Joe.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to episode 3 of the Monolith sessions. I guess like today's guest and the whole story that will be told is kind of a story of redemption, a burying of the hatchet, when two dudes don't really like each other for years. That pretty much describes Daniel and myself, man. This is our guest today is Daniel Piñon of American Sellout. And I did want to bring that up to begin with because I tell you, a year ago, or maybe about a year and a half ago, Daniel and myself were not on speaking terms. We had totally didn't even know what the other was doing. It was kind of like a misunderstanding, I guess, that just got out of hand. But I really have to give props to Daniel, man, because as much as I don't want to talk about it, but during that time that we buried the hatchet, I buried the hatchet with another dude. And let me tell you, the hatchet is unburied with the other dude because he doesn't know how to be an adult. But with Daniel, I gotta give him props, man, because he has made a complete turnaround. Not just with his music, but as a person, man. He's like such a good dude, man. And I'm so glad that I was able to like come to good terms with him. And now it's like we're brothers. Like I honestly consider him my brother. He's a good dude, man. And since the day we buried the hatchet, things have been really cool with us, man. And once again, I want to give props to Daniel, man. So go ahead and talk to us, dude. Tell us what you've been up to, man.
Well, Crash is done.
Yeah, he used to be in, it was like a glam rock?
Yeah, it was glam metal. Glam metal, sleeves, I don't know. I don't know what we were trying to do.
Like spandex and,
Yeah.
Had a bunch of clothes designed to look weird.
Yeah.
Like they did back in the 80s.
But you were trying to portray an era.
Yeah.
Like the era that like I grew up in, which is I think the 80s glam hairspray metal.
Yeah, I guess what we were trying to do is we had a goal. We want to bring back the 80s, but here's the thing. We never grew up in the 80s. We saw like just videos on it, like MTV clips and stuff like that. So
But I mean it was your like honest interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean from the best that you could gather.
And
I mean I remember one time we saw you one time and like you were spraying like crazy.
oh,
It was that crazy. What is it called?
the crazy
silly
sticker
spray.
shit.
That silly spray.
string, yeah.
That silly string. There you go. I was like, wow. I don't remember. I don't even think that stuff was invented in the 80s.
No.
But you pull it off, dude.
I was trying to do a shock rock thing, and now that I look back on it,
Well, good thing that there was no video of that.
oh no, there is. There is, but don't look for it.
Don't Google it.
So,
I couldn't easily just go take it off YouTube.
Yeah.
so like back in the day, when you see live videos of how you were back in the day, like on YouTube or something. Because I'll say for myself, I used to get drunk and get on fucking stage, and it's just embarrassing. So when you see videos like that of back in the day, do you feel the same? Like, do your actions or something, you're like, oh, fuck, I can't believe I fucking did that, or I said that, or some shit like that?
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I used to get drunk. I can't believe it. It's just...
Well, dude, I mean, you're a rock and roller, man. So it kind of like comes to the territory.
No, but like, being so wasted and getting on stage, and you somehow still pulling it off, but you could hear, like, you know when a drunk person talks to you and you hear their words slurring?
Yeah.
But imagine that singing. And then hearing the recording of you doing that, you're like, oh.
Yeah, man.
Well, dude, I mean, what can you say? Could you imagine how many people do that on a weekly, maybe every other day basis? Everywhere.
So did you learn from that? Like, don't get drunk before you go on stage?
Oh, I just don't drink.
You just don't drink at all?
I just cut it out.
No shit.
2 years
Drinking
ago.
all together?
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years? How long sober?
2 years.
2 years.
Hell yeah.
Wow,
Dang,
congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Dude. That's awesome.
Like, that's why when anyone offers me beer, I'm like, and what also helps is I have like a tooth pain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got you.
So I was like, okay, I'm good.
All right.
But that's not the only reason. It's just,
Yeah.
it reminds me.
So what band are you in now? Tell us about your band now.
American Sellout. We are, I'm just going to say heavy metal because I can't, heavy metal with power metal themes.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I can describe it as. Like,
we've seen you, and I kind of like detect a little southern gallop in there, man, like a southern gallop metal.
That's what my guitarist Aaron does.
Yeah, he does that, and I love it, man.
And
That's one of the first things that really stood out to me is his gallops. I love that because of course I'm an Iron Maiden fan. They dropped their new single today, so I thought that was really cool. I mean, anything that is gonna have that kind of influence, I'm definitely all about it. I like it. And so like from already having seen your set with your new band, I mean, we could tell there's a huge difference in your maturity and like music wise, your lyrics. I know your vocal style is different also, right? It's not so much wailing like the 80s,
no.
80s style.
No, it's actual singing.
It's more clean, but still kind of edgy, right?
That still has the rough.
Yeah, rough edges. We like that, man.
Who's your vocal influences?
D. Snyder for one. He's always going to be my main influence.
Yeah.
Like D. Snyder. Don Dokken, but I can't sing like that.
Yeah.
That's
not even Don Dokken can sing like Don Dokken anymore.
What would you compare your vocal style to? Like, who do you think you sound the closest to? Or do you get upset when people's like, oh, he sounds like so and so? Does that upset you?
Well, I'm trying to think. No one has ever like compared my vocal. Well, it used to be that when they're like, you sound like Brian Johnson, and I'm like, I wasn't too much.
That's not what you were going for.
That's not what I was trying to go. I was going to like a more Tom Kiefer kind of vocal range, but
that makes sense now.
But then they'd be like, no, you sound like Brian Johnson. You should do an AC/DC tribute band. I'm like, I don't like doing tribute. I'm like, I don't like doing covers.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but
but
it's not everybody's
that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I like to write my own originals.
Dude, and plus Tom Kiefer's not easy to emulate. Like his vocal style is totally unique, man.
And he doesn't even sing like that anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
I always thought he sounded like Marge Simpson, man. Like if Marge Simpson had a band, it'd be him. But,
Marge was metal.
Yeah, I never thought he sounded like that. I think he sounded pretty power metalish, man.
Yeah.
Well, back then?
Yeah, when I said you guys crash, I always thought you guys were like more Motley Crue-ish, something like that.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to go for, like that.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed, even like back in the day, even though like I wouldn't see you much, but I did see a lot of your all the work that you were doing. And one thing I could say is that you've always been trying to progress and trying to make things happen. Because I know, like back in the day, you had Crash Fest.
Yeah.
So it was always something else that you were trying to keep pushing, man. I mean, you can look back at it now and maybe laugh at it or whatever, but you were still trying.
Oh yeah, no, but I laugh because Crash Fest was basically just a house show, and we'd be like, let's make it a party. So we'd buy kegs.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
just bottles.
You're describing my youth.
And then we would just invite people to come, hoping the alcohol would bring people.
Yeah.
But it would bring like 10 people, and we'd have 2 kegs, and like people would just end up asleep until the morning.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter. Here's what I learned, man. It doesn't matter if one person, 10 people come to your show. It doesn't matter, man, because those are. It was more than the show before. You know what? You just keep growing. You keep growing. You keep growing, man. So I mean, just. I hate when like new bands start out and like nobody came to my show, nobody did this. Like, hey, bro, you're brand new. Just like stay at it. It happened. It'll come, man. Just keep going, fucking at it, dude. So don't give up, man. Don't get discouraged.
One lesson that I learned, and this was also what I've learned from the Anvil documentary, when they're like, we don't care if one person's in the crowd. It doesn't matter. You're there to just have fun.
Yeah.
That's why we do it in the beginning.
Now, do you like house shows more than you do? Okay, would you like to do a bigger venue, or would you like to rather do like someplace like smaller, say Neon Rose, or a house show? Like, which one would you prefer to do?
I honestly, out of doing 10 years of house shows and the smaller venues, I would honestly prefer bigger venues now because, I mean, I've gone through the whole house show thing where the sound is bad. I mean, it's just the professionalism.
Yeah.
Like with a house show, the professionalism with the sound is terrible because you have your own PA and then you have one guy who thinks he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like, let me do this.
Yeah.
And you don't have your drums mic'd up.
Yeah.
It's just...
That was me for a long time.
I kind of like, for a while, when I first started out at Dumbo Master, I was against like house shows. I did that growing up. I did that, but we did a house show in Dallas, Texas. We have a big march crew that supports us, the Pit Demons, and we did a house show for them. And dude, it was just fucking balls to the wall. It was fucking insane. It was crazy. So that gave me a lot more. Made me want to go back to more smaller venues. That way, it's more intimate and it's more like, you know, if you do want to, let's just say at the Rock House, it's a bigger venue and stuff, and people will be sitting back there and shit. And then like at a house show, you have to be like right fucking there, and they're all into it.
I will tell you this. I know I say I want to play the bigger venues.
Yeah.
But I prefer a crowd there.
Yeah.
Because if you play the bigger venues, you can tell the emptiness.
Yeah.
Like we played the Rock Box, like back when I was in Crash in San Antonio, and that place was, like, it was, like there not a lot of people showed. There's like 3 people in front, and I'm like, all right, this is a big. Have you ever been to the Rock Box?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big venue.
Yeah.
But like 3 people, you're like,
damn, this sucks.
Talk to us about your shows at the Whiskey. You played the Whiskey, right?
Yeah.
With Crash. What was that like?
It was fun. The Whiskey is pay to play, so like most bands will. I mean that's gonna take off the mystery.
Yeah,
Right.
but still, dude, still, you're talking about like.
That's history.
Yeah, it's history, man.
So what do you think about pay to play? Because, you know, we played the Whiskey too, and we played it a couple times.
Oh, that's right.
And it was pay to play at first, the first couple times you play there, and then after a while you start developing I guess a following, and then you don't have to do that anymore. But what are your feelings on pay to play? Do you think it's worth it? Do you feel like it's an investment? Do you feel like it's just ripping you off? Like, how do you feel about it?
No, it depends.
It depends?
It depends. First off, what slot you're paying to play. Like, let's say you're getting the set 7 p.m. in LA. I mean, to play the Whiskey.
Right.
At that time, people are still in traffic going home.
Oh, yes.
I pretty much know because I have a lot of friends in LA who tell me, like, don't get that spot.
Yeah.
They'll tell me, like, pay a little more and go, like, either 2 bands before the headlining act.
Yeah.
Because that's when people start to show. But still, even at that point, people are out smoking during your set, like, you know, doing the...
Well, what bands did you guys play there with at the Whiskey?
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Okay, so you guys fit there. What the bands you played? You played more of the 80s genre?
Yeah, I would talk to the guy who books the bands.
Jake?
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, okay.
And Jake would tell me, oh, yeah, let me... And we were going to play with Lizzie Borden, but then at that point, Crash just dissolved.
Oh, no shit. And what happened, if you don't mind me asking about, what happened with Crash?
I got greedy. I got greedy because I was putting a lot of the money into it. And so we played Speaking Rock. And this is where the demise is. And I know if they're probably watching, I mean, I'm going to tell the truth.
Just speak truth, brother.
Yeah. So I used to fund the tours. Like, I would pay for the hotels and everything. And at that point, like, when we came... Well, when we were going to play Speaking Rock, we played. And we got paid an amount of money. The 2 members that I usually paid for, like, out of town, I didn't give them their $100 each. Like, so that's like, what, 200?
They're cut.
Yeah, they're cut of the... And so I used that for, like, food for my house and stuff, so...
Okay.
And they didn't take it, they quit the band, and that was...
That was it.
That was it for that version of Crash. I tried to bring it back, but it just wasn't the same.
Right.
Like, I felt... I went through a retreat, and after the retreat, I couldn't see myself doing Crash anymore. It just felt...
Well, you should be paying for... If it's a band, it's a band. You should be paying and fronting the money for everything anyway.
Yeah, and that's why, with this band, I try to make everyone pitch in. If not, I mean, I still do it.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about American Sellout now, man. That's what I want to focus on. Okay, so who are the dudes in your band now?
Okay, so we have Homero Olvera, which is my bassist, and he is from Crash. Like, he joined Crash a long time ago, and then he left, and then he came back for the last version of Crash, and then that's when we dropped Crash and made American Sellout.
I like him, man. I like Homer. I like him because I've seen him at shows that he's not playing. He was just there to support the other bands.
That's badass.
And dude, that goes a long way.
That is.
In a lot of people's book. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And then the guitarist, Aaron Robles, he played with Crash too, in and out, and I brought him in because I knew he would have that cool power metal style that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is Brandon, which is, he's in the military. He plays with Killing the Mammoth as well, and and Beneath the Waves as a guitarist for some reason, and well, with us. So
yeah, I saw you guys with Brandon, and I was pretty blown away, man. He's a good drummer.
He is
Powerful. He's like a powerful drummer, man. So, what about your bassist? Were you gonna get a bassist? Because I remember when we did your photo shoot, I guess about 2 months ago. It was about 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, that guy.
Is he not in your band anymore?
I don't know.
You don't have to name him. I mean,
I don't know if I should say he's in or not because he hasn't even been here for like pretty much all of our things.
so it's still up in the air.
Yeah, some people want him in, some people don't. It all depends.
Yeah, I mean every band goes through that, man.
And
I'm sure every.
we don't know whether to be a 4-piece or a 5-piece. And so that's kind of the battle right now.
Yeah. Okay. So like if they ever show up as a 5-piece, don't say shit. That's just the way things go. Okay, man.
And do you need a bassist? I mean, what's a bass? Bassists never get laid. They're always in the bag. Yeah. Except for Rudy. Rudy in Number Master was beautiful.
Rudy kills all that.
Man, he has beautiful, the most beautiful hair ever.
Cliches about bassists.
Yeah.
Those stereotypes.
So what are your goals in this band?
Just to play.
Just to
Have fun.
conquer the world, or just conquer, yeah?
I stopped trying to have that mindset.
You're a family man too. So.
Yeah, like that mindset for me is, I'm doing it to get my mind off of everything else.
Awesome.
That's basically.
That's pretty much what music is.
Yeah.
It's an outlet.
Yeah, so it's an escape.
And now that I have that kind of mindset, like people are more supportive, than me like trying to throw my band in your face, like, hey, come to the show. Well, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
do you think that
makes
people?
sense.
You know what, Joe? I'll ask you this. Do you think people try to sometimes over promote their band, and it kind of comes across as, or I'll ask you guys, does it kind of come across as annoying when people try to over promote, and then you kind of get pushback, like, I'm not gonna go see them. They over promoted. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I just don't understand how people can say like you're over promoting. Like, it's your baby, man. Of course you want to get the word out there and you want people to support you, but the thing is that everybody thinks on different levels, and that's the same for promotion. Some people will get bothered with every little thing and they'll be like, this guy again.
Yeah.
You know, but when they're promoting their shit, of course they want you to be there for them too.
Exactly.
And that's why I brought the point up about Homer, his bassist. It's freaking great, man. The dude was there at a show that he wasn't playing, and he's just promoting, man. He's just there supporting, you know. And at the same time, you're like, oh, dude, there's like Homer from American Sellout. That's awesome, you know. So to me, I think it depends on who you. It depends on the person. Some people take things the wrong way, and some people take everything the wrong way. Look at this guy. Look at this guy's over here promoting his shit again. And you know, if you don't like it, remove a tag or unfollow somebody. But I think for the average person, like a social media, they'll like it, man. I don't see anything wrong with it.
My thing is, like, you know, I follow a couple bands, and like every 5 minutes they'll post someone's wearing their shirt or this and that. I'm like, dude, come on. Every 5 minutes promoting, you know, posting someone's wearing your shirt, it kind of gets annoying. You know, but also I see other bands. I'm not knocking them for doing that. That's their thing. That's their deal. This is just my opinion. But I also see other bands that just don't even promote.
Yeah.
And they get mad when people don't even come to their shows or don't buy their stuff. I'm like, well, dude, you have to promote. You have to put work in, man.
Yeah, you do.
You know?
I mean, it's part of the job.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think nobody would promote you as good as you promote yourself.
Exactly. No one's gonna love you more than you.
You have your best interest at heart, and nobody
Exactly.
else is gonna do that for you, man. Not for free.
So how many shows you guys played in El Paso, and when is your guys' next show?
Right now, how many shows have we played?
About 4 or 5.
I think just 4.
Just four. Where they been at?
You play at raves. I saw them at raves.
Raves and Rock House.
How's Raves? I've never been there before. You been
It's
there?
a legit venue,
It's
man.
nice?
It's a legit
Where's it
venue.
at?
It's okay, so like if you get off the I-10, you know, normally you could get off on Hawkins and go down and go south.
Okay.
But right now it's all under construction, so you kind of have to go around through airway in the loop, and you turn around, and it's down there. It's like, so the streets are like Market, Industrial, and Commerce. It's a dirt street to the right.
Oh, so it's way
Commerce. So you go all the way to the back, and it's one of those warehouses. But you you see it from the outside, it looks like a warehouse building, but you go inside, and it's like a legit venue.
That sounds cool.
It's a nice and air conditioned, which to me that's like worth 20 points right there, man.
Yeah.
20 bonus points. So it's nice and air conditioned. They have nice clean restrooms, which is another 20 bonus points. They have a nice stage. It's nice, big, and I think they improved it since last time you were there.
Yeah, it used to be
They made it bigger. It was a small stage before because it was mainly for raves because of the name, and DJs. So they took all that back part out and they made the whole thing a stage now. It's nice and clean. They have good food there. They have a bar. Every time we've been there, we've enjoyed our experience there, man.
I gotta check it out. I've not been there.
We've been to some pretty cool shows there. So yeah, I mean, Raise is awesome.
So then I'm asking, what do you think about? Okay, so what do you think about the music scene here? Is there a scene? Tell me your thoughts. And what makes a scene?
So right now, there was like a good stale point for like 5 or 6 years, I feel, with the scene. Right now, I feel like it's starting to... It's because with our scene, it's all cliques. And I've noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a group of bands won't support this group of bands. It's just... What I want, what I wish and what I hope for is by me trying to open up to say, hey, I know I did this to you, why don't let's fix this,
Right.
work together. Like, I think we have potential to have a scene like LA has, like
Yeah.
San Antonio has,
Or Dallas.
like Austin, Dallas, but we don't because everyone's too stuck in their cliques.
What do you think, Joe? Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, like I remember the other day you posted something about how you guys shouldn't be talking about each other behind each other's backs, and that's what causes a lot of like unnecessary hate in the music scene and stuff. But honestly, man, like a lot of people are just waiting for the other person to fall flat on their face so that they could go talk about it.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
And I think that's shitty. I mean, not everybody's gonna like everybody, and some people really go out of their way to poke the bear, which is something I don't understand because I believe in just live and let live. If somebody, and then the worst thing too is if for bands, you guys all have something in common, man. You guys are all musicians. It's the music, whether it's the same genre or not. You guys should still support each other because you have the same. You're all like-minded,
Yeah.
So you see a dude doing what you're doing, and that should instantly spark kind of like not a soft spot, but hey man, this dude's doing the same thing I'm doing, that's cool. Instead of making a competition and promoting so much hate. But that's not even scratching the surface because a lot of the hate in the scene is not because of musicians, man. There's a lot of outside factors that go into the level of disagreement, discourse, and ridiculous hate with each other, man. Sometimes promoters play a role in that.
Venue owners.
Sometimes the venues. There's just way too much outside noise that's distracting the whole point of making music and playing it for people, man. That's just my honest opinion. Sometimes people who shouldn't even be getting involved and who shouldn't be throwing fuel in the fire do it anyways, and they know what they're doing, and people don't see the true colors, and they just think that it's just a regular everyday. So I don't know, man. It's really hard to put your finger on it. There's a lot of bullshit out there. I think the thing is just to try to rise above it, and like I say, man, Daniel is a good example of that. He's already admitted here that he's fucked up in the past. He's done people wrong, but he's admitting it, and he's willing to fix it with him.
And what was it? This past weekend, I had to tell one of my friends, because he's all, yeah, I support my friends who in bands, and I told him, and I've seen what he's been doing. He supports the people that are gonna get him further, and that's what I used to do.
Right.
And so I see that in him, and I'm trying to foretell him it's gonna backfire on you.
It's gonna bite you on the ass.
And he's gonna ignore it because he doesn't know how bad it can get, and it got really bad.
I can tell you, from my experience, man. Of course, when my son was in band, I was new to the scene, And I went out of my way a lot, man, to help our promoters, with the hope that they would book my son's band, right? I'm a father, man, so of course I want to see my son on stage as much as possible. I would buy the tickets myself with my own money. You know, they would give him 10 tickets. I would buy all of them and tell him, you know what, here's a money ticket to him, and tell him to give you a good spot. And in the end, it didn't even matter, because like the dudes that were promoting back then that I was doing that for, they don't even talk to me anymore. So it's so ridiculous that you have to do shit like that and jump through hoops for musicians to have a good show or to get booked. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but those are just some of the tough lessons that I've learned in the past. I wouldn't change it because like I didn't know better, right? I was just trying to help my son out. But I know that there's people who are just coming into the scene now, and I've seen it a lot recently, because one really cool thing that some of the promoters here are doing is they're inviting some of the music schools to bring the young musicians and have them play like a really quick set before the adult bands play. So I see a lot of really young musicians who are like crazy talented, man. Mm-hmm. There's this kid named Zane Rodriguez. Be on the lookout for that kid. He's in a band called Fair Warning, and he's amazing at guitar, man. So I see kids like him, and I think to myself, man, I need to talk to that kid's father so I could kind of give him some help as to how to avoid certain pitfalls. But I'm learning that you can't be sharing that knowledge with everybody, because everybody has to experience it their own way. I did that with a real good friend of mine now, and it's caused so much, because he's aware of the way people are. I know that it's giving him a lot of problems, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just gonna let people experience it their own way. Sorry, I wish I could help. I could, like Judy and I could start a business for like to be music scene consultants. Don't fuck with that dude. But I think, like I say, people have to experience it their own way, man. That's just the way it is.
What do you think? Think so? You think he's spot on, or
Yeah.
lessons learned? Yeah.
It's just tough, man. It's a tough
business, man.
Tough,
especially if you
scene
want
to be a part of, man.
Yeah.
And I know that El Paso is probably tame compared to a lot of the bigger cities.
I will say this: I've toured all over, man. The last best music scene I've seen is here in Texas, and it's in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. What I've seen there is every band. They maybe have little cliques, but every band there supports each other. Every band there promotes each other. They hang out with each other. They party with each other. They're at each other's shows. It's just that's what the music scene is to me. It's not little cliques. It's not like, hey, I'm playing here, and then as soon as I'm done playing, fuck it, I'm going home and fuck your band and blah 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 blah. And because that's not how you build a scene, man. You're just out there playing your fucking music. If you want to have a scene, it needs to be like a family. You guys need to support each other. That's my opinion. That's my experience. But the music business is fucking nasty. It's ugly. It's dirty. It's about money. And I hate to say that, but that's what it's about. That's why we think music sucks so much now, is because these rich kids have fucking money. And that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, I think if you think back to, like, anybody who's been in the Paso music scene, you think back to a certain year. Like, I could tell you, like, from my experience, like the War Room days, those are some of the best days, man, because the scene was united, the shows were full. They could have 2 shows back to back, and both nights were packed. You were happy to see everybody who was there. The promoter was a homie. You would go get food afterwards. You would go eat with the touring bands. It was so much different back then, man. And now it just seems like the scene is like really scattered. But I think that's just the way it is, man. What can you do, man? You can't make people come together.
Yeah.
It just has to happen naturally.
Yeah. Like what Daniel was saying, you gotta swallow some pride, man. You gotta.
That's the biggest thing, the egos, man. I think we all need to get everybody in the Paso music scene and one of those sweat lodges with some ayahuasca. And we can all kill our egos.
Yeah.
And maybe everybody can come together then.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever tried it, but I will someday.
Well, Dan, you guys got music out, dude? Where can we find your music at?
Right now we're in the studio currently. In fact, right now after this, I'm gonna swing over to the studio and lay down the vocals.
What studio you guys at?
That's a home studio.
Home studio? Okay.
Nice.
That's fine. Because you know what? I was going to go into the next question. I feel big studios are dead. I feel like you can do everything at home that you need to do at your house. You can send it off to get mixed and mastered, but I think spending $200 a fucking hour in a studio is just like ridiculous.
it's been made easy with all these devices that they offer.
Exactly.
Just plug in to your laptop and record.
So, are you guys coming out with an EP or LP, or what are you guys coming out with?
What's coming out right now is just a single,
Okay.
and then after the single, we're gonna start working on the album.
How long is your set right now? How many songs?
Right now, we have 9.
Damn.
We wrote 9 in 2 months.
That's good.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
And they're
it was
all
like-
original. All original.
Yeah, all originals.
Yeah.
Hell
Would
yeah.
you do a cover? Live. Would you do a
Like-
cover live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I would do a cover, but like a lot of us are just focused on the originals.
Right.
That
Yeah,
we're just like,
Right.
Like that.
I believe in covers. If you're a brand new band starting out and you do like maybe in the middle of the set you do a cover, that's gonna bring people in like, oh yeah, I know that song. Okay, these guys are killing this song. Okay, it brings more like admiration. I feel, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like blue collar band, man. You're working your ass off, and
Yeah.
like I know you already have merch and stuff, and like you're just one thing after another, which is really cool, man. Have your show, you can put your shirts up, sell them, and
you know, I actually have what do you call it, a merch table now to set up. I'm like, I'm gonna put that table wherever I go.
Yeah.
Because
Do
like
it.
I've just been telling people to meet me in back of my van, and that sounds
creepy,
sketchy.
man.
he has like
You got candy back there? What do you got?
band tees, he has patches, stickers, and tamales.
You got candy? Or no?
And burritos.
Nice, man. Well, is there anything else you want to throw in there before we wind things up?
No, I mean that's pretty
What
much.
do you guys have coming? Are you booked for any shows coming up?
Just one in August at the Rock House.
Nice. Cool, man. Yeah, you guys book his band, American Sellout. It doesn't have to be just the venues, man. There's a lot of other people that are booking now, which is cool. I know there's like a new venue on Alameda, like a music gallery. I haven't been there, but I've been seeing them lately, and I know there's a lot of house shows going on too. So if anybody out there's watching, hit them up, man. Book them, and I vouch for them. I've seen them, and it's very excellent set. So yeah, I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about Daniel now. I have a new level of respect, and like I said, I could call my brother, man. He's cool.
That's badass.
Oh yeah.
Me
That's
too.
badass.
So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Monolith sessions. It's kind of hard to, it's still hard to say it,
I
man.
still can't say it.
It's like
Monolith.
a tongue twister. The Monolith session.
Monolith. What is that? African? What is that? I don't know, man. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. We don't even know when. Maybe like in a month from now, or that's what I like about this project. There's not like we're not like
Did we do 2 shows this month?
yeah two.
Yeah. Was it one we did last month?
Yeah, last month. This is like the one we did.
Okay.
The one we did this month.
Well, we can set another one up.
Yeah.
You guys tell us what you want.
Yeah.
And you know what? Send us people who you'd like to have on a show. How about
That'd
that?
be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because we're running out of ideas, man. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time, man.
Bye-bye.
Peace.